What's up YouTube, this is Tubedigga. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the new Generate Random Events feature of MPC 2.2. So as you may or may not already know, MPC has now been updated to 2.2 for both the PC and Mac software and plugin, and also the firmware for your MPC Live and MPC X hardware. So what is Generate Random Events? Well, as you can probably guess from the name, it's the ability to generate random note data in our sequencer for any given track. So to access it, we go to the Track Edit menu, and we can choose Generate Random Events from here. Just to the left of Generate Random Events, we've got Humanize. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, please do so, because I will be uploading a video very soon, and we're going to take a look at Humanize, and I'll also be doing some other videos on MPC 2.2. So let's press Generate Random Events. Inside this window, we now get the option to choose the event type. Because we've got a drum program on track 1, it defaults to drum events. If we had a key group program on track 1, it would default to melodic events, and we can choose that manually with the data wheel. So I'm going to stick with drum events. Now we can replace all events. We can replace events in a note range. So if we scroll down here, we can see that we can choose a particular bank. If we go all the way clockwise with the data wheel, we get to range, and then we can select the start pad and the end pad. It would be nice in another future OS update that we can actually select multiple pads in the same way that we can in the program editor, and then we could actually select specific pads that we want to generate random events for. But this is cool for the moment. We can select the start and the end pads. I'm just going to choose my entire bank A because I haven't got any sounds in the other banks. The very last option here, we get density percentage, which is the amount of notes that get generated based on this note length. So the note length is not the actual duration or the length of the actual note, it's the time division that the note events get placed on the sequencer. Okay, and the rhythm variation, I haven't got a comprehensive explanation or guide for 2.2 at the time of making this video to tell you exactly how this affects the actual rhythms that get generated, because I've had various different results. Obviously, because it's generating random events, the amount of variables is pretty much infinite. But I'll let you guys play about with these controls yourselves. I'm just going to give you a few examples in this video of how it works and how it can be used. So I'm going to keep the rhythm variation at 20%, keep the density at 10%, our note length is at 16th notes, and I'm just going to press apply. And let's take a listen to what it's generated. Okay, if we don't like that, we can press apply again, or we could press undo, it wouldn't matter. So not too bad, I'm still not massively keen on that. Let's press apply again. And again. And we can just keep on going. Okay, I quite like that, so I'm going to keep that. Now, just a point to mention on this, if we press do it, it will apply another random generation of notes and it will close this screen. I find the workflow is much better by staying in the Generate Random Events window and just keep pressing apply until it's generated what you actually want to keep. And then just press close or the X up the top here. We can't press the main page to exit out of this, but we can if we press it twice, but it will take us to the track view, and then we just press it once again and we get back to the main page. But as said, if we press do it, it will quit out of this, but we don't get a chance to preview those sounds before we've quit out of it. It means going back into here to generate more random notes if we want to replace them or add new ones. So I hope that gives you a rough idea of what you can achieve with this. I'm going to let you guys install this and play about with the density controls and the rhythm variation. There's no point in me showing loads of different results because it's all based on this random algorithm that's creating these notes. So I could be here forever. I'm not prepared to do that. I have to eat, sleep, shave and shop. So now we've generated something that can inspire us to move on in our sequences. So my workflow currently whilst practicing with this is to copy the sequence to another sequence. So now we're going to copy it to sequence 2. You might notice that the destination sequence now jumps to the next available unused sequence. In 2.1, it was behaving in such a way that it would just be set to the current sequence, so you just end up overwriting the same sequence. But now it behaves in the same way that my old MPC 5000 behaved, and it actually defaults to the next available unused sequence, which is just a handy feature that I thought I'd mention to you guys. So let's copy that to sequence 2. So now let's go back to generate random events. Now I'm going to choose to add to existing events, and I'm going to choose a different note length. So let's choose some quarter notes, and let's just audition the pads. So I'm going to choose the range of pad 9 to pad 11, which has just got these tom sounds. So I need to choose bank and set that to range, and then I'm going to choose pad 9 to pad 11. Now obviously if you did want to select some very specific pads, because you are just working with a minimum to a maximum range, it would be down to you to select where you've got your different sounds. But as said before, it would be nice if Akai can implement some kind of multiple pad feature where we can specifically set the pads so we don't have to reorganize them. Anyway, I'm going to choose these 3 pads, A9 to A10, and I'm adding to the existing events that we've got in our second sequence. So press apply. Okay, not amazing, but that's fine. I'm not going to spend loads of time getting this sounding brilliant, generating exactly what I want to hear with these tom sounds, but it just shows you that you can select a pad range, and if you don't like the notes that have been generated, you can swap the sounds out, obviously, in your program editor, and organize your pads in a way thereafter once you've generated your random note events. So there's many different ways that you can think about to use this, but it's a brilliant tool to inspire you to start making tracks, and a great starting block for you to create stuff on the MPC. So on track 2, I've got a key group program, and it's just a simple clave sound from my 808 kit. So let's go to generate random events again. And as you can see, because it's a key group program, the event type has now defaulted to melodic events. We can have the same options here: replace all events, replace events in note range, and add to existing events. Pattern size is 2, note length is 16ths, so let's keep that to 16ths. Now we can choose the start note. The minimum one is C2, and it goes all the way up to the very highest G8. So let's just choose a random note range, something in the middle maybe. Legato, we can choose that, set that on and off. Constrain notes to scale, so down the bottom here we can change the scale. We've got all the scales that are available in pad performance mode. Okay, so let's just choose Gypsy, and let's choose the root note of A sharp, and I'm going to keep the density at 12%. Let's press apply. Okay, so not much going on there. Let's increase the density to 63, press apply. Okay, I think it's a little bit too high, so let's now decrease the start note so we're working within a lower range of notes. Let's press apply. And again. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Let's now go to transpose, so we can just keep those generated random events and just transpose this sequence down. So I'm actually going to transpose it from the track itself. can copy this sequence to sequence 3, and I can have a different transposition setting for this track. So let's go up to -7. Let's go to sequence edit, and now we can switch between these sequences. So again, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, guys. I could be here for absolutely infinity because we're just generating random events. Of course, we've got our own input and our own influence on this based on the density that we choose and all the different scales and the root notes. But again, like I said before, there's an infinite amount of variables and results that you're going to get out of generate random events. So this track I'm going to play you now was all developed from using the generate random events feature. I made this off camera and I've spent a lot more time on it than I did with the examples that I've just shown you. As I said, I could be here for eternity showing you all the different variables. I've added a few things on top manually, of course, but most of the inspiration for this track came from using generate random events. So I'll just let this play out and then we'll return to the rest of the video. So just another point to mention, generate random events can be used on drum programs, key group programs, clip programs, MIDI programs, and CV if you've got an MPC X. I may produce some other videos with this connected to my modular system and use the generate random events with my modular. I hope this video has given you good insight into what can be achieved with generate random events. It's an amazing milestone feature, in my opinion, for MPC 2.2. It's a brilliant way of inspiring you, generating some things that don't feel too contrived, and then you can just run with it. Copy your sequences, duplicate your programs, do all your change ups with the transposition. It's just down to you. So please experiment with this. It's great fun and a brilliant addition to MPC. Please like, share and subscribe. Please contribute to my channel if you would. There's a PayPal link in the description. You can just donate an amount of your choosing. I will see you on the next one. This is Tubedigga and I'm out.